New Zealand has chosen the first transgender athlete to compete at its Olympic Games. Laurel Hubbard is a female weightlifter who will be in Tokyo next month. Supporters call her selection a breakthrough for the transgender community. It's also reignited a debate with critics who say it's unfair for an athlete who used to compete with men to participate in women's sports. Imtiaz Tyab has the story.
For the headline-making and barrier-breaking weightlifter, all she wants to do is compete.
I am who I am. I'm not here to change the world. I just want to, be me and just, do what I do.
43-year-old Laurel Hubbard, who transitioned from male to female in 2012, is considered a serious medal contender after being selected to represent her home country, New Zealand, at the Tokyo Games.
She is a very dedicated and resilient athlete, and on behalf of Laurel, I would like to say how honoured she is to be in the team.
Hubbard also has the backing of the International Olympic Committee. The governing body introduced transgender guidelines for athletes back in 2015. Under the rules, those who transition from male to female can compete in the women's category as long as their testosterone was kept below a certain level for at least a year. Joanna Harper, a medical physicist and competitive runner, who is also trans, helped advise the IOC on its guidelines.
Pre-transition and post-transition, did that change your ability to be a competitive athlete?
When I transitioned, within 9 months of hormone therapy, I was running 12% slower. That's the difference between serious male athletes and serious female athletes.
Is it fair?
The absolute answer to that question is still not certain. We need a lot more data before we can come to an absolute conclusion on that.
For those opposed to Hubbard's inclusion in the Games, her competitive advantage over other women is certain.
Males do have a performance advantage that's based on their biological sex. They outperform us on every single metric: speed, stamina, strength. Picking testosterone is a red herring. I mean, we're forgetting about the anatomy, the fast twitch muscle, the bigger organs.
For Hubbard's supporters, whether she wins gold or not, being allowed to compete at the Olympics as a woman against other women is already a victory for trans rights. For CBS This Morning, Imtiaz Tyab, London.
It's a really knotty problem for the...
Very knotty question. And as we heard there, the absolute question of is it fair still really hasn't been answered yet.
And yet onward it goes.
Yeah.
And if she medals, I can imagine another woman being on the medal stand wondering, would I be winning gold or bronze or if she weren't here? So it's very complicated stuff.